everyone, we're going to use the Maclaurin series table to obtain the Maclaurin series for f of x equals sine squared of x. Now they gave us this hint that sine squared of x equals 1/2 times 1 minus cosine of 2x. So since they give us that, we're going to use our table for cosine of x. Now I'm going to write this a little bigger. I have this table on my Facebook page if you want to see it. There's actually two because I split it up, but this equals the sum n equals 0 to infinity of -1 to the power of n times x to the power of 2n divided by 2n factorial. Alright, so I'm going to just expand this, and we're going to write this as 1/2. Then we have this 1 minus, and then we're going to do this sum. So for that, we're going to get the sum n equals 0. You're copying this down basically, but instead of x, we have 2x. You can write this as 2x to the power of 2n, and then divide it by 2n factorial. All right, now what I'm going to do is, if you do your first term, a sub 0, you're going to get 1. So when we have the 0 here, I can rewrite this as 1/2 times 1 minus 1, and then I still have a minus here, and if you are subtracting this is n equals 1, because our next term would be a sub 1. So then you go to infinity. And the reason we want to do that is because of it makes it a little easier to simplify. And then we have 2n factorial. All right. Now what's going to happen is we're going to get the 1's cancel, and we're going to have -1 times, I'm going to write it this way for a reason, times 1/2. And then we have n equals 1 to infinity, -1 to the times 2x to the 2n power divided by 2n factorial. All right, now that we have that, notice when this was to the n power. Why am I missing that? All right, now when you multiply -1 times -1 to the nth power, that's just going to be -1 to the n plus 1. Also, we have 2x to the 2n power. So when we multiply this 2 through, we're going to get 2 to the power of 2n times x to the power of 2n, and we're going to have this divided by 2. So this part right here is going to turn into 2n minus 1, because this would be 2 to the power of 2n, and this is just 2 to the power of -1. All right, so let's do that. We're going to simplify. I'm just showing you what our next step is. So our next step is going to be to write this as the sum from n equals 1 to infinity. And now we have -1 to the n plus 1 power. And then we have 2 to the power of 2n minus 1. We still had x to the power of 2n, all divided by 2n factorial. Now for a radius of convergence, for cosine, it's all reals. So our radius of convergence is infinity. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.